Consumer is yet another way to read data from the state management store. Similar to provider, it is a property from the context object, and it is also a React component. Let me show you how it works. First of all, let's go to our homepage, and what I'm going to do here is to import our global context object and call the consumer property on it to create a component inside our DOM. Now the consumer component has a very specific trait. That is, we can only put a function within the component as its child. And a function should accept one argument, which represents the data in a store. And the function should return HTML elements that will be rendered inside the DOM. And just for demonstration, I'll simply return a simple div and I'll read the hey property from the state. And just a quick recap, currently in our store, we have two properties, the state and the dispatcher function, and within the state, we only got one hey property. Now let's go to the browser, and now we can see that we've got a mate in the DOM. Beautiful. So consumer is basically an alternative syntax for us to read the data from our store. Now you might be wondering, how can a consumer be useful? Well, to a retail store manager, a difficult consumer like a Karen could be a nightmare. However, to a React store, a consumer could be used to conveniently render components that have no business logic and are tightly coupled to the data in the store. For example, in our app, we might want to have a user avatar icon that we want to use over and over again across multiple places, just like the avatar icon in the Google homepage. Now this component would contain some user information of the current logged-in user, like the name and the image URL. But the component itself does not contain any business logic. The purpose is just to render the user's avatar. And now this scenario will be a perfect use case for a consumer to shine. And we could wrap the consumer in a normal React component so we can easily use it across our app. Let me show you a quick example. Let's quickly create a new component called HeyMate. And I'll move the consumer code that I had before to this component. So this HeyMate is really just a wrapper around what we have done already. And now, back inside the home component, rather than writing all this mess, we can totally simplify it to this HeyMate component. And back to our browser, we can still see our mate inside the DOM. Okay, so again, consumer is only useful when a component is tightly coupled to a data inside the store. It is just another way for you to read the data from the store. Alright, key takeaways for this lesson. Consumer is an alternative way to read data from the store. Consumer is a React component and it can only accept a function as its child. The function should return a DOM node. Consumer is best to use as a DOM component that is tightly coupled with the state in the store. That's it for now, and I'll see you again in the next video. If you would like to see more content, consider supporting us by becoming a member at my website, Acadea.io. It is similar to Patreon, but in return, you get a lot of premium tutorials and lessons. If you can't become a member, that's totally fine. We are just happy that you are here. We spend a lot of time and energy to produce high-quality videos for you. Feel free to check out our other videos on YouTube, and if you can leave a thumbs up, you will really make my day. If you subscribe, I would jump for joy, and I'll make more videos for you. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time.